Good morning, Your Highness. Today's the big day. I know that it might be out of place for me to be so giddy. However, I cannot help but be delighted for you on this momentous occasion. Tell me, are you too excited? Or are you still feeling some of those premarital jitters? There's nothing to be afraid of. I promise that today is a good day. All will be well, and this will be the beginning of your happily ever after. Today you will be marrying a good man, a good prince, a good friend and companion for you. Why am I here? Oh, yes, the king sent me here to help you get ready for the ceremony. There's much to be done. Even if we're not getting you into a dress and binding you up in a corset, we must ensure that you are pristine and that not a hair will be out of place. Of course, only select members of the public will be present during the ceremony, but that does not dampen the importance of prestige. We want each and every attendant who goes out to say that this wedding was one for the decade, for all the good reasons, of course. I assure you, like always, to tend to you well. I already drew a bath for you while you were dining. We have plenty of time, but we must not dally. Oh, I can see you need no help removing your night clothes. That excitement must be starting to overcome you. Maybe eating a light breakfast was unnecessary after all. Shall I pour the water over your head to wet your hair? Very well. Brace yourself. I will take care of your hair now, then we shall style it once you are dried. While I do that, clean yourself as you usually do, Your Highness. Though perhaps if I see you are not scrubbing enough, I shall have to take over the duty for you. Forgive me, Your Highness. I'm just abiding by the king's orders. Close your eyes, Your Highness. I shall just be pouring out more water to rinse out the soap. I'm also just going to lace your scalp with a small amount of scented oil. Not enough to be obvious and overwhelming, but enough to make Prince Marcello notice it in the wedding bed. Although, if we are to be honest with each other as we usually are, I know you had your first impression early on his most recent visit. Oh, it was earlier than that? I had a feeling a few of those woodland treks had you scouting other trails. Your secret's safe with me, you sly prince. Do not mind me now. I shall simply be taking care of the finer details, starting with your nails. Oh, yes, Your Highness. We must make certain your nails are as symmetrical, clean, and undamaged as possible. After all, if you will be wearing your jewels to pull the crowd's eyes, we would certainly hate for them to slide down to unkempt fingertips. Do you have in mind which jewels you will be wearing today? Of course. Those will match your outfit perfectly. Do not be afraid of wearing a few additional rings, however. So long as you can bend your fingers around goblets and sweets, you are doing things properly. Oh, you're afraid Marcello might not like it. That is a reasonable concern, then. He is the relatively minimalistic type. Perhaps, then, wear more and tuck them away as needed. I must admit, though, I too know that fear very well of trying to impress your partner. When I married my sweet Agatha, for some reason I was convinced she would judge me for being clean-shaven. Never mind that she had only seen me once with a mustache and laughed hysterically. And yet, I still somehow almost talked myself into making a fake beard from clipped dog's hair. To this day, she still hounds me in the service quarters if I have so much as a nearly invisible stubble underneath my jaw. But no matter. Allow me to help you out of the bath. Oh, be careful, Your Highness. Remember your leg. I will never forgive that archer for wounding you so. I am not one to be in favor of torture due to its ineffectiveness and cruelty, but any attempted assassination against my prince has me Shifting morals. I do apologize. Let us forget about that and get you dressed up, shall we? All right. Firstly, the undergarments. Then we shall get the stockings on you now to prevent any uncomfortable bunching around your ankles. And of course, the main event. Let me just take that towel from you. Oh, dear. Oh no, nothing is wrong. Just a few flyaway strands that I will need to take care of. I am not sure how they went unnoticed after multiple fittings. No matter. Let us get these on you, and then I shall be your makeshift seamstress. No, I do not think you are getting married too quickly. You and Marcello have been courting for approximately 2 years now, and you are both seemingly fit and ready. I think you two are perfectly fine, especially since most royal marriages happen rather quickly. Need I remind you that you are almost married off after 6 months? I know that both your and Marcello's father wanted to ensure that you two had a strong and healthy relationship that would persist throughout time, not only to make sure that things stayed friendly between the two kingdoms, but of course for your own sakes as well. But I would not be surprised if at least one of them was secretly beginning to get a bit impatient. Is this shoulder bunching up around you too much? Okay, good. Let me just button you up, Your Highness, and then I shall get rid of those minor strings. But back to the conversation. I think now is a perfectly acceptable time to be married. You two have a very good dynamic. I would dare say you have a healthier and far more fun relationship with Prince Marcello than most of the other kings and queens in the area. Your Highness, could you please lift your arm so that I may look for more strands? Thank you, Your Highness. You have also had some time to test the waters of living together, in the sense that you have stayed in each other's company for weeks at a time whenever possible. Those occasional castle visits and voyages together. I may have missed seeing you on those weeks, but I could not help but be happy knowing that you two are having a fun time together. All right. I believe we are done with all of that nonsense. Are you comfortable in your garments? Excellent. You do look absolutely exquisite, Your Highness, if I may say so myself. Now I shall take care of your hair while you put on your jewels for today. Let me push you towards the vanity better, Your Highness. Do you need any specific jewelry boxes? Very well, I shall get them for you. Luckily, men's hair is very easy to style and prepare, though we may want to give you a bit more volume. Nothing to distort you from your normal look, but just something that accentuates your features and exudes royalty and masculinity. Oh, my dear prince, why are you crying? Of course I shall still be your personal servant after you are married. You have no reason to cry about that. I would only be removed from my position if you or the king demanded it be so. I've watched over you since you were younger than you can remember. I recognize you as a member of royalty. However, for that former reason, I cannot help but look at you as though you were my own child. I would not dream of running off on you now. Besides, what other ruler would I have such interesting conversations with? Dry your eyes. There's no reason to fear. Oh, a hug? I suppose I cannot refuse my prince's requests. There. Everything will be fine. Agatha and I will stay by your side wherever that may be. Now, let us get back to the task at hand. We are nearly done before you may be presented to the chapel. Just need to finish your hair and then look over the fine... By the gods, what was that?
Your Majesty, there is terrible news. Westerhelm's forces are invading the city. By the order of the king, you are to leave at once with the queen.
What? But... the wedding... Marcello!
He, his father, and the king are off to force them back. We must get you out of here, now.
Your Highness, you cannot fight with your leg. You must obey the king's command. We haven't time for discussion. Marcello will be fine. Now flee before it's too late. I will be safe. Take him out of here.
Come, Your Highness.
Do not worry, Your Highness. Everything will be all right.
We are sending you to Castle Morenheim for safety. Fear not about the wedding. We will endeavor to make our second attempt all the better. I cannot make promises that would be impossible for me to keep. However, your husband-to-be is more than capable in the field of battle. I believe all will be well with him. Your Highness, your face is showing some pallor. The coach is here. I shall help. Your Highness.
There is nothing to be afraid of. I promise that today is a good day. All will be well, and this will be the beginning of your happily ever after.